What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all with basketball analysis on analysisplayground.com and on YouTube. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron and Anthony Davis finally getting a roster fully transformed again. Their roster been transforming a lot over the years, especially after they won a championship. Sometimes needed, sometimes unneeded. I feel like the Russell Westbrook trade is finally put to rest. That was a trade they didn't really need to swing for the fences to do. And I think they lost a championship because of that. But they still have the core of LeBron and AD that they're confident with. And remember, the playoffs is all about matchups, and Denver match up well against this team. And they might not have to go down that road this year. I expect this team obviously to be a playoff team. I expect LeBron and AD to be all stars, and I expect the role players to have a different type of impact on this particular team. You look at Max Christie, he's a guard that's gonna have a bigger role on this team. He's trying to show his shot making and his scoring ability a little bit more this year for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that he can do that. I think that that's going to be important to have multiple guys have multiple impacts and be able to play around their duo a lot more and fill in the blank a lot more. I like Rui Hachimura. I told you guys that made the trade that he would be a decent player for them. They didn't really have somebody that can cut, slash, and be able to score besides LeBron and AD for the most part. And they had got him in at the right time because he is under a solid contract and he did play decently last year for the Los Angeles Lakers. Jackson Hayes, he's just a big body. He's on a very, very cheap contract because it's his rookie one. He's long, he's lanky, he's fast, he's quick, and all he has to do is just dunk and set screens. You don't really need him to do much after that because you always putting him with another big for the most part. And if you do go small, it's easier for him anyway to do those fundamental things. Jalen Hoods, I don't really think he's going to get that big of a role this year. They have too many guards in front of him that's willing to play and willing to do what they already used to doing. He's still, figuring stuff out. He's still a little wet behind the ears, and his offensive game we still have to wait and see on. While we already know what to expect from certain players already. Bronny James, he's small. He's a solid player. I think that he's gonna get about 5 to 10 minutes some games or none. I don't really see him playing a whole lot or doing that much this year as they're focusing on winning as many games as possible like they usually are. I'm not saying that he's a detriment to this team, but he's not the greatest offensive player. He's not the greatest defender. He's not really guarding NBA starters yet in his career. Once he can get to that level, then I can see him getting more minutes and more opportunity. But this is a guard heavy team, like I said before. They got to pick the best one to go with and ride them out as much as they can. Dalton Connect is another great shooting guard that they have. He played well in summer league. He can make shots. He can play off the ball. He can get out in transition. He's very strong for his size. And I just think that if you're a shot maker and you got a great playmaker like LeBron, he's going to find you a lot. I just worry, can he defend good enough to get valuable minutes and be a rotation player that you don't regret having on your roster? He showed that he's not going to be that. People thought that that's what he possibly could be, but we haven't really seen them against the best competition just yet as the NBA season hasn't started. So we still got to wait on that. And then it's going to be a longer season compared to the college season, the high school season. And then you going against better defenders and guys that come at your neck a little bit more. And we're going to see if he can be able to play big minutes and big times if they want to go that direction with them. But just remember, they do have Austin Reeves, who already is their playmaker slash scorer at the combo guard position for them. He showed that he can do it better than all of them because he's been doing it against the best competition. So it makes sense why they would go with him again. But that's their whole purpose of trial and error anyway. And then Cam Reddish, he's been having an off and on season, but for the price that he's under, he's athletic. He's a guard that's motivated sometimes. He's a guard that can get hot sometimes and make some plays, but he's still not the greatest defender, don't have the highest IQ, don't have the greatest feel for the game or the greatest understanding of the game. but he don't really have to do much but be a finisher on his team, and that's all they asked him to do last year. Some of these guys just fill out the roster because of the salary cap. They need guys for this price just because they top heavy, and a guy also like Maxwell Lewis, he's going to be a guy that's going to get minutes and time just because injuries can happen or occur. So you're going to need him to be able to contribute something because he is on the roster and you do trust some things that he can do. And then it's about putting him in a position to succeed as a team and as a roster. And D'Angelo Russell, he had a big comeback with the Lakers. A lot of people didn't think he'd be great. A lot of people don't think he can be good, but they need space and they need offense. They need a guy that's confident that can take these shots and knock them down. And D'Angelo Russell was that guy. And I think that it made sense for him to go back to the Los Angeles Lakers because that's exactly what they needed. It was a guy that can do that and still facilitate enough to where he's not one dimensional. And I think that he was able to accomplish that goal going back to the Lakers. Now we're going to see if they want to keep him. Now we're going to see if this is a team for him in the future when free agency hit. But right now, he's still their starting point guard, and he is a solid player and a great starter for them, just based off it. Jared Vanderbilt is a bruiser, and he's a solid rebounder and a guy that can score a little bit. He is a big guy, so they're going to need him just for defense and just for activity and just because he can finish plays for them. And then Gabe Vincent, he's a shooter. He can knock down shots off the ball and on the ball a little bit. You definitely need that. That's essential to spacing for your big two. And then you also have Christian Wood. This is a guy that's been around the league. He's long, he's lanky, he can rebound, he can shoot. He gives you matchup problems sometimes. Not the greatest player, not the greatest IQ sometimes, but he is a guy that can contribute and play very well. And that's a great backup to AD because you usually don't get a guy that can do as much as he can do coming off the bench when you have a roster like this with the talent that they have. And I think that is great to have them, in general. But we're going to talk about their duo, LeBron and Anthony Davis. They have been known for being, unstoppable, unguardable, a team that really use their superstars to the maximum as they should because that's why they get paid so hefty. But I think that LeBron is going to have to take his game to a level where he has to trust his teammates more, let them play more, let them learn more, and not get too much in the way. I think that that's his challenge this year because now you're on the verge of passing the torch to the next generation of Laker players. I know that you still feel like you can win the title. That's why he re-signed. That's why he came back with the Lakers because he probably didn't feel like no team can put him in the best position to win a championship at this point and still get paid other than the Los Angeles Lakers, and he probably don't feel like there's no teammate out there better that fits well with him other than Anthony Davis. So it makes sense. He's a defender. He can dunk. He can make the mid range. He can stay out the way enough because he can hit a three every once in a while. So it makes sense why he wanted AD, and it makes sense why LeBron is picking his poison. I might get the better fit, but I might not get the team that's best for me. It's all ideally is all in your head. You don't really know until you make the move. You don't really know until it's actually on the roster. Now he knows what he has. Now he knows what he can work with. And when you look at the role players on this team, they look great. The names stand out. These are guys that's been proven. These are guys can play. These are guys can get the job done. You know what I mean? So I don't really see a problem with this roster. I just feel like LeBron has aged. He doesn't play a certain way anymore. I feel like he has also evolved into a smarter, different type of player also. But that's what you're supposed to go. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's how the ways of the league and the world goes. It's either you're adapting or you falling behind. Is you trying to stay ahead or you falling behind? And the Lakers made some moves that they didn't really have to make. They did some things that they didn't really need to do, and that's was building their coffin. Then they was able to break out of it and say we still got a little bit left, and LeBron still got a lot of game left at a good level, at an all NBA level, I would say, and Anthony Davis do too. So if you have a duo that good and you have guys that can impact both ends of the court that well, and you have guys that play well around each other, and you putting the right pieces around them just to make it easier for them and more smoother for them, then you always going to get credit for me because that shows you that you care enough to give them exactly what they deserve since they've been loyal to you too. So the Lakers, they feel like they got what they need to get it done. They feel like they still one of the best teams. They feel like they have everything they need to get the job done, even in the playoffs. It's just about matchups for them. And I would say I would agree. This team is not far from being a contender. This team is not far from being a pretender. They in that middle where you're not top five or you might be top sixth, seventh, or eighth like they've been the last couple of years. But if you play your cards right or things fall in your order, it's just about being confident enough to show that you can compete with anybody and going out there and getting it done is all you can do after that and live with the result. And I feel like the Lakers understand that because they have veterans. They understand that because they have seen it the last 2, 3 years, and they haven't won a championship in a while, but they still got that taste of what it is to win, and they still got that hunger to keep coming back to try to get better. That you don't make this many moves, you don't make this many trades if you're still not trying to win and get it done. So you got to give Rob Pelinka a little credit because the roster looks a lot better than it did 2 years ago. Even a year ago, people was complaining they can't do this, they can't do that, it's this is that. They've been a disaster or drama or chaotic team to follow the last couple of years because they still is that sincere about finding a way to win, even if they got to skip some steps. That's the way the Lakers do it. I'm not always going to recommend that, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just about can you get it done at the end of the day. And he has helped them get it done. And now can he get it done again with a similar type of style with just different coaching staff and different rosters? Well, we have to see. This team is going to be entertaining, and they're going to be interesting, and they're going to be must-see TV, especially against some of the biggest teams in the NBA. They still have enough to compete with those guys, and they still have enough to win a title. They're going to need a lot of things to go their way, but they still in that mix of, well, I wouldn't be surprised because they have what it takes to get it done, built and coaching staff-wise. So other than that, what I expect from this team to be a playoff team, what do I expect for this team to be in the contention of a top six team in the Western Conference? And other than that, I do expect this team to be one of the most competitive teams in the league. And if they can stay healthy, LeBron and AD especially, then they should have enough of a record to match up against the teams that they feel that they can beat and do it early on and then have a smoother ride down to the finals. Now, do I think they can win the championship? Sure. But do I think they can win it all compared to other teams? I think teams have better chances. Teams have a better roster right now, but they still have enough to compete with them anyway. That's how the league usually goes anyway. When you have LeBron and AD, anything can happen because either one of them can go off. Either one of them can take over a game, and the role players can just feed into it and hit big plays, hit big shots, and we done seen it even last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did major things. It's just teams that I prefer and teams that I look at as more consistent than them on certain things, and that's the biggest difference. But now you know why. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell for more analysis. If you like this channel or you like this video, I got breakdowns, tributes, and videos just like this on this channel. So if you're new to the channel, go back and watch some of my older videos. And also, if you've been a subscriber for a long time and you watched this video a little late or you watched this video right on time, you can still check out my older videos too, because it's probably 1 or 2 to 3 to 5 or 5 of them or more that you probably missed that you wanted to see. Now you got the opportunity to do it. I appreciate that. Keep liking, keep sharing, and that's all I can ask you guys to do. And I'm happy that you guys continue to do so. Other than that, thanks for watching.